PUSB Lee says that second half was terrible. Game management non-existent. We could see the changes were needed. I've never seen Grimes look like he wanted to lay down. He couldn't even run. We've got a massive soft underbelly that remains from last season. Are those harsh words or not? Our panel are going to dig into that Oxford result with us on the latest edition of Where Sky Blues Walk. Thank you very much for joining us. We're talking about Lampard's lack of in-game management in the Oxford result, set-piece defending as well. What the hell's going on there? Brad Collins, question mark. Some fans are saying he should be getting more stick than what he is. And we're talking about the derbies this season. What's the biggest one that we have in the Championship, given that Pompey and Southampton are back at each other's throats next time round? Welcome back to Where Sky Blues Walk. We've got 5 very passionate people here. 4 of them are Sky Blues, who are a little bit perplexed how you didn't pick up 3 points at Oxford. Thank you very much for joining us. We're trying to get to 850 subs by the end of this particular episode. Can you help us do it? Welcome back, Jay. We haven't seen you around for holidays for a couple of weeks. You join us just as the fan base are a little bit frustrated. Is that how you see it?
A tiny bit, yeah. Still a lot of positivities go around, still unbeaten. I personally think we're playing some very, very good, attractive football in these games. I thought the first half against Oxford was brilliant. We should have been 3-4-1 up in that game. But it was just, again, as per normal, but just silly little defensive errors have cost us, and defending set plays and stuff have really cost us. But I look at the more positive side of things. Again, unbeaten. If you want to look at last season, we're ahead of what we were last season. We've had a decent start. People were sort of saying 10 points would be a good return from these few games. With 2 points off that. So overall, it's a little bit frustrating, but also is positive as well. We still haven't lost. Momentum's still there.
Okay. Ben, the in-game management is what's coming up from some fans. Here's the substitution. Here's the bench that you had available in that game. And, of course, the one substitution on 86 minutes was Sakamoto being replaced for Thomas Asante. Do you understand people's point of view when they're saying, look, that was crying out for a change and he didn't make it and we got what we deserved because of it?
I do. But I also think that Lampard was probably showing Doug that we probably do need a few more bodies from the door. And on the other hand as well, I do think it's coming up to the international break. We were doing well. Probably in the second half, we could have done with the changes, but I think he thought, right, they're going to have a long rest now anyway. Let's just leave them on, try and get this goal. And let's be honest, at the end, they was unlucky not to get the goal. They was unlucky. Had you hit the bar in the last minute. On another day, we could have won that game easily, but it's the Championship. It's not easy. You look at Leeds and Leicester the other season with hundreds of £1 million players in the squad, and they still lose games. It just happens. It is what it is, and we didn't even lose. So I'm quite happy personally, and I think there'll be a few players in before tomorrow night, and it'll be exciting going to after the break.
Yeah, no head losses here, of course. But Tom, Nigel says if we play like that against any other team in this league, like we did in that second half, we are going to get destroyed. Yeah, what do you think was the difference in between the first and the second? Just Oxford reset, of course, but you just didn't match them.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I noticed it quite a lot with Cup. We have a really good second half. We'll have a really poor, a really good first half. Sorry, we'll have a really poor second or a really poor first. We have a really good second. I don't know, really. I think, yes, subs could have been made a bit earlier, but as Ben said earlier about bringing in bodies, we need bodies, and obviously with Ben Sheaf, etc., leaving, we need to bring people in tomorrow. First half, we were outstanding. Beautiful football. The goals were nice. I mean, Torp's goal was exceptional. Hattie Wright's very nice finish. We just switched off second. I think Oxford wanted it a bit more. And, any away game is tough in the Championship, especially Oxford. I noticed they always give us quite a tough game, especially last season. We only just scraped against them 3-2 in both games. So any game not at home in the Championship's hard. I think we just switched off a little bit. But as Ben said, I'm pretty happy. We're still unbeaten. Going into the national break reset. Norwich at home's a big game. So I'm feeling pretty confident overall.
Okay. Let's have a look at the Oxford goal, shall we? Let me just bring it up.
Sure, but you worry about it fizzing all the way through and no one getting on the end of it. Brannigan hits it, near post, and the keeper's been at the near post. And Brannigan has levelled Brooks.
If I just go back and pause that in certain points there, Scott, where's the fault lie for this goal?
Thomas.
When I was watching it, and I was watching, listening to Oggy and his comments, the ball was put down, and from what I can recollect, something happened on the right-hand side or the left-hand side as we're looking at it, and the wall all up to the right, and then Brannigan moved the ball about a foot to the right. So you could see that on the TV, and it looked to me, I was agreeing with Oggy saying he's going to go around the wall. He moved it obviously about a foot or two to the right. But the keeper came back and checked his wall again, and I assume he thought it was okay. And then he's hit it. You can slightly see Bobby turn sideways, and he's been beaten at the near post. I mean, it's a good hit, but I don't know. It just surprised me that he came back and looked at the wall and thought it was right. I'm no goalkeeper, but I'd have thought you'd have had the second man in against the post, really, and the man a bit further wide, personally. But whether it was set up like... I haven't seen anything from behind the goal, to be honest with you, so I can't quite tell. But even if Bobby had stayed up straight, whether he'd have blocked it, but it just seemed as though it was the setup to me, personally, and then obviously a great hit, and it's been done at the near post.
Yeah, we don't be too critical, but there were fans. Our job here is to reflect what people are saying on social media, and this was... Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. I want that one now. My buttons right. My name's Jeff says, if Collins made the mistakes Rushworth has, he'd be getting pelters. He's meant to be a top keeper. He's been awful so far. I mean, you are scoring a lot, Jay, but let's not forget you are conceding quite a lot as well, especially from set pieces. Is that to do with Collins more so than it is the defenders, or is it the people in front of him?
So Rushworth, I think Rushworth. I've wanted Rushworth for the last 2 seasons. I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper, especially when he's at Swansea. He's super confident, great shot stopper, looked fairly commanding. Since he's been with us, again, yeah, there have been a few little errors. Obviously, this week, again, the first goal he should have maybe parried it out away from the goal rather than into the danger. The wall on this occasion, again, this one I find quite weird because obviously Brannigan's right footed. You've either got to go over the wall this way, so you want the wall to be more further this way, or he's going to whip it in for a cross. So I don't quite understand the sort of lining of the wall there, which is a bit of an error. And then even like last week with QPR's goal, lost the flight of the ball. With Derby, again, the first goal, fantastic free kick, a lot of power, but again, it just looked like he lost the flight of the ball. It is early days, a brand new team, young lad. I'm sure he'll sort of come good. I'm confident that he's going to come good because I've seen what he can do, and I've got confidence in the lad that he will come good. But also the defence in front of them that are making silly mistakes. Again, the 2 free kicks they scored from were both ridiculous fouls to give away. They weren't even proper fouls. They were just petulant little pushes, and it was stupid. So when you've got that in front of you, I think all Coventry fans are crying out for a new centre back at the moment. And again, obviously we've got different conversation, but everyone sort of was looking at Charlie Hughes. But after Saturday, I think a lot of fans have sort of gone down a different route of Wolverton, just because he's a bit more experienced head and a bit more sort of he's got more experience and he's been in the Premier League and all this sort of stuff. So I think that sort of defender with a bit of organisation, a bit of a fads for us, a Carl McFadzean would be absolutely fantastic. Someone that sort of telling people what to do, and that would obviously, if a goalkeeper's being told, okay, do this, and sort of being talked through a game, he's still a young lad, you have to remember. If he's been talked through a whole game, then it's going to be a lot easier for him to sort of perform as well. But I just think it's a bit rudderless at the back of the moment because we've had this. It's not just this season, same issues last season and the season before as well. The same defence we've had, and it's been the same for the last 2 seasons with the exact same issues: silly little sloppy goals, goalkeeper errors. Again, I don't think we've conceded a goal from open play, 8 goals, all from set pieces. So again, that's sort of telling something as well. I'm not sure what it's telling you, but it's telling something at least.
Yeah. Apologies, I meant Rushworth. Apologies to Brad Collins, giving me blame there.
I was going to say
kicking while he's down, eh?
Yeah. It's because I've got you guys ringing in my ears from last year. Talking about it. Apologies, Brad, if you're watching. Right, let's talk about central defenders then, because Ben, with you, Jack says we're still unbeaten, but we desperately need to sort out the defending on set pieces there. Some people are suggesting that there's maybe a lack of organisation at the back. There isn't really a strong voice sorting out who's defending corners and free kicks. Do you agree with that?
I don't know, because we maybe for set pieces we could do a bit better, but at the end of the day, that free kick that went in, it's the wall's fault. It's simple as that. If you can get it up and over and in the goal, then fair play, you take your hat off, but the wall should be blocking that side. Maybe you could be thinking about Rushworth. Did he move it? Did he move him over enough? But Bobby turns side on. If it goes through the wall or that side of the wall indefinitely, it's the wall's fault. Simple as that. So, yeah, I quite like the defense, like Kitch. I think they communicate well. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether the centre mids have a bit to do with it. I don't know. It's a difficult one, but I feel like it's going to be remedied in the next couple of days by getting Wolfen done, and I do think that's going to be something that does happen.
Finally, just on that game then, Tom, this was said by a fan on Twitter, IMLGO, get Ruddy on corners. Grimes cannot take corners. The new Eccles, Clark was knackered. Why no changes? Corners?
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed for a while now, Grimes' corners aren't that good. I do agree we should get Rudy on them. So, not much to say. Yeah, get Rudy on corners. I mean, I remember Eccles' corners were pretty shocking. I don't think Grimes is as bad as Eccles, because I remember I'd always turn him when Eccles was on a corner and say, not again. All respect to Eccles because I love him, but his corners are pretty shocking. But I would like to see Rudy take corners from now on. Let's see what happens. It's up to Frank, isn't it? So,
I'd like to see us set up different at corners. There's too many people in the 6-yard box for me, and even if we do it now and again, have a couple at least on the edge of the box running onto the ball and give them something to think about. It's just a bit too compact for me, I think.
We do the same thing over and over again. We whip it onto the goalkeeper, so they know what's going to happen.
It's predictable.
And even with the obviously since Grimes has come in, Rodoni's gone off corners just because he's good in the air. But how many times did he score from a corner, Rodoni? I can't remember any time which he scored from a corner. So again, having him whipping a ball in. And he got a lot of assists last season from those corners because they were just pinpoint on Bobby Thompson's head so often. So I think he took one towards the end of the game. But yeah, again, I'm with Scott. You need to vary it because unfortunately we're not Arsenal and scoring from corners all the time. So you need to sort of mix up a little bit.
I like the train when they get in a line and hold each other so no one can hold them.
Yeah, exactly.
Clever.
They all figure out which way they're going to go on the edge of the box. We all know one's going front, back, middle.
Yeah.
We can just seem to stand in the same 6-yard box on the same yard spot.
I feel like because we scored so many headed goals and so many set pieces last season, teams are sort of on that now as well.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I
Mix
mean,
it up.
personally, I just think you got more chance of getting to a ball if you run and jump onto it than standing still trying to jump to it. And I'm no physician, but it seems a bit more obvious.
Do stay tuned as these four will tackle transfer windows. Norwich City in the West Sky Blues walk extra time. Our final discussion point for this week is derbies, though, Scott, because after the break we've got the South Coast derby, the real South Coast derby, not the Brighton fake one, in Pompey and Southampton, and we've also got Millwall Charlton coming up. So in terms of, just before we get into derbies for yourself, we spoke to Leicester fans earlier who said, our derby is probably Coventry. We hate them, they hate us. But is that a derby for you? Is that just a rivalry?
It could be either, couldn't it? Leicester's not far away. Birmingham's not far away. So you've got Birmingham there. You've got Leicester down the road. You've got Derby a little bit further. I don't know. It's class. Sorry.
West Brom as well.
West Brom. It's classed as the M69 derby, so it's probably.
I feel like Coventry need a proper derby. Birmingham have got Villa, West Brom have got Wolves. You need someone.
Leamington.
I think out of the
Nuneaton Borough.
Yeah, if you ask most people in the Championship, if we're playing in the Championship or the Premiership, it'd probably be Leicester. If you ask most Cov fans, that's my opinion anyway. So, I think it's quite noisy and nasty when we play them more so.
Although our Borough fans did call you out earlier and say, well, it's us and Coventry don't always side by side in the table. This was a derby. Jay, where do you stand on this? Leicester, Coventry. No one would put it up there as in the top 20 derbies of the country, would they?
Yes, they're not sort of exactly derbies, but there is a good hatred between the two teams. For the three teams, including Birmingham as well. So it gets a bit feisty, and that's what we really sort of expect from them. And again, apparently they don't care about us, but they talk a hell of a lot about us. So again, I'm not a massive fan of them. I'm sure they're not a massive fan of us as well. So, yeah, I would classify it as a derby, but yeah, some people do, some people don't.
Mark, let me ask you a question. Is Blackpool v Preston a derby?
Well, yeah, it is, because they've got a history of it.
It's closer from Coventry to Leicester.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's like Southampton, Portsmouth, nowhere near each other, really. Ipswich, Norwich is miles apart, but yeah.
You've got to take what you can. If you've not got a two club city, then you just have to have a bit of fun and just say, right,
you do.
We'll have you.
Yeah. What's the biggest derby in the league, Tom, then, this season for you?
For me, up there, I would say Ipswich versus Norwich is up there just because of Nunes. Because he's just gone from Norwich to Ipswich, and that has caused a lot of tensions when they play each other. So I'd probably say them two. Southampton, Pompey's up there as well. I guess us versus Leicester, but the biggest for me, I would say, is Norwich and Ipswich, because that's going to be a feisty one. I look forward to seeing it when it happens, especially with that Nunes. He's a good player.
Disgusting what he did, wasn't it?
He was like waving the flag about at the other scarf at the game. I was like, oh, brutal.
Right. Thank you very much. We've got no third shirt to review, so unless it's been revealed. So once we get one, we'll certainly do that with us. But stay on now for West Sky Blues extra time. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll have a 2-week break now, of course. No football to talk about until Norwich City come to the CBS in 2 weeks' time. Join us for that one after that. I'll wish you 4 well. Thank you very much. And here comes West Sky Blues Walk Extra Time.
Let's go back to the Oxford game then. I think we spoke about some stats last week, so we'll probably talk about some stats in the defence, because that seems to be the burning discussion. So stats-wise, 64% possession against Oxford yesterday, 2 yellow cards, 495 passes against 286 for Oxford. Defence-wise, 2 block shots, 5 tackles won, 11 aerial duels won, and as we know, 2 goals conceded. So I know you spoke about defence, Ben. Want to go into any more detail on that, about your thoughts on the back 5?
I just thought it was one of them days yesterday, and sometimes the week before, everything we hit went in, and this week it didn't, and that's just the Championship for me. I mean, the 2 goals, they weren't the keeper's fault in my opinion at all. The first one has gone through the wall, and it's deflected a little bit. Rushworth's already dived, and he's had to use his body and improvise. You can't push it out with your body. You just got it hits you in the body. That's it. And then it's been followed up. I'd be more asking questions of the players around, following up on second balls. And then the second one's not his fault either. It's up for debate. I mean, the second one, maybe he should have moved the wall a bit, but Bobby turned sideways, and if Bobby doesn't turn sideways, it goes out for a corner. So we do need a centre half in, and I think Wolfenden would be the absolute perfect one to come in, because he's got out this league before. They got up in second, didn't they? And then the year before that, they won League One. Yeah. And all the Ipswich fans keep saying, "Oh, we don't want to lose him. We don't want to lose him," and that's always a telltale sign to me. I feel like Hull have wasted a lot of money turning it down for Hughes personally, because I don't think they'll get anywhere near that end of the season.
Yeah.
I agree on a couple of those points. Again, with the Rushworth, I'm a massive. Again, I've on Twitter, I've been banging on for about 2 seasons to get him in. It hasn't started fantastically. He's a lot more confident, a lot more sort of assured, I feel, normally. But the first goal, he's there. The first goal, obviously, you ideally wanted to parry it out, and that's what, again, obviously, it's a very hard shot straight at him. Probably sees it a little bit late, but ideally, you want him to parry that out. Again, 50-50. The second one, I do put a lot of blame on him on that one. Again, obviously, Bobby turns, which is unforgivable, but that wall needs to go across even further, because on a right foot, you can, obviously, as you said earlier, you can whip it over the wall. If the wall's that way, you've got Hadji and Bobby there, which are 2 big lads. You've got to get it up and down quite quickly and quite rapidly. Or the other option is, if he's going to whip it across, he can't whip it to the other post because it will be right in Rush's sort of gaze, or he's going to cross it in. So that wall has to go over another foot or so. Oggy even called it on the commentary for about 60 seconds. He's going to, as Scott said, he's going to whip around the corner. So that one, I do blame him a bit more, and I do feel like he could have got across a little bit quicker, because he was so far across. But again, it's small little errors. Again, I'm sure he'll sort of learn and he'll sort of develop. It's a new team, as I said earlier, and stuff. And with the defence, as you said, I think I was definitely team Hughes, but after that game, I think I'm definitely Wolfden. I think is the man. That we should go in with. Yeah.
And he's cheaper than Hughes as well, so that's a positive in itself.
Maybe.
So,
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, on deadline day, they might want a bit more.
Yeah.
So
apparently he's trying to push the move himself, which is obviously a good thing because then we can get the price down. But as Ben said earlier, I think Hughes. I think they're going to sort of semi-regret not sort of taking that money because. For a guy that's guaranteed 20 mil next season, I don't think he is guaranteed 20 mil next season if he has a good season. That was a shocker of a game from what I saw.
What about you, Tom? Were you at the game yesterday or not?
No, I wasn't. No, I actually had to follow it through Twitter, so I've only seen highlights and stuff really. So if I do say anything that's not reflecting the game very well, that's because I didn't really see any of it. So I'm a bit. I need to keep quiet on the game from yesterday because I don't want to sound like an idiot because I don't really know what fully happened. I've just gone off highlights and what people said on social media. Really.
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting one because I took a couple of pictures today, and I know you were talking about the ball, Ben, but there's a couple of pictures that I took because I watched it about, I don't know how many times a day I've watched those 2 free kicks. And he seems to have a wall set up with Kitchen on the left-hand side of the wall, and Torp yesterday for the first goal was about, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet away. Which, when you look at it, looks like the ball goes through the wall. But I'm not sure if the gap was there, so Rushworth could see the ball. And it was quite strange looking at it, because I've got 2 pictures. Even the second goal, you can see Torp is a yard or so away from the edge of the wall. Not that he went outside for the second goal, but I guess in his defence in the first goal for me, he hit it well. Plus also, it was wet yesterday, so I can imagine how fast that ball just skidded off the surface, even if he could see it, and he might have gone a lot quicker. You know, because he didn't actually put his arms out, did he? Almost hit him there, I think.
Yeah, he misjudged it. He misjudged it, because it came through a crowd. And I tell you what, I'd hate to play in the pipes for our team because the keeper is the first one that gets it. For some reason, with our fan base, the keepers, they're on a hide into nothing, aren't they? Yeah. Collins has lost his marbles, hasn't he?
Yeah. I don't think he had any idea where that ball was going because it hit him that fast, skidding off the wet pitch. But I think I think Lancashire, when he put it in, it went through 2 or 3 defenders as well. So it went through everybody's legs. And it was just one of those attempts. The second one, I don't know. But,
I've got full faith in Rushworth. I got faith in him.
I think he'll come.
I really back him. I really do. Yeah. I mean, he's had a few moments, but it happens. You know, he's going to be better than Brad Collins. So I think that's the positive.
You look back to that whole game again. I know this was offside, but when Hull broke through and he made that brilliant one-on-one save, it was offside in the end, but he made an absolutely fantastic save. With the ball at his feet, he looks quite assured. He's confident. Again, people say he's not commanding his area that well. I think he's absolutely fine with crossing. Again, he's not perfect. If he's perfect, he would be playing for Coventry City. He'd be playing for bloody Man City or something, I guess. But look, he's not a perfect goalkeeper, but he's very good for us. And again, obviously, Collins had his critics. Wilson's had his critics. He's definitely head and shoulders above both those, I'd say.
Yeah, like you said, he's a young lad, and he's a young lad. He'll come good. You know, he's played 4 games for us competitively. You know, it'll change.
I'm not petrified when the ball's going in and around him in the box, and that's always a good sign to me. When Collins was playing for us, it was like, oh my god, every time the ball went in the box, he comes out and he catches crosses well, doesn't he? So.
Yeah, I've seen people sort of saying that Collins is better than him. No, he's not. He's like
that Pompey away game proved that.
Exactly, he's not making clear and obvious errors. Again, the error. Again, I would say the second goal more of an error. Move the wall across a little bit. That's not a huge error. It's just small little sort of details you need to learn and stuff.
That could be communication with the wall and the goalkeeper, though, because one person in the wall turns around and he gives him the instructions. But let's not forget as well, Brannigan cheated. He moved the ball a foot to the right. So the referee should be looking, very clever, but the referee should be noticing that. Or that's where I think we're naive at times because they should be screaming, he's moving the ball to the referee.
Yeah, they need to react. Yeah. He did go back. He moved the ball. He went back to have a look at his wall. And he didn't move it, and he sort of went back to his position.
Yeah, I want to see more of that though, Jade. Like, if you see it, he went out for our corner yesterday, and he gave a goal kick, but not one of our players had appealed for the ball.
Yeah, I've always said that we're too nice, too nice. Again, obviously, Milan gets he gets battered and stuff, and I think it must be in the QPR game. And someone pushed him over on the sideline, and he got up and shook the man's hand. I'm like, mate, kick off with him. Like,
we had to do a nice thing last season as well.
Yeah. I remember there's one occasion Hadji sometimes squares up to people, or Kitch squares up to people. You need more of that, really. Again, we're too nice. Again, our midfield's fantastic, but Grimes, Torp, and Rodoni ain't going to be sort of kicking off a Roy Keane or really Patrick Vieira, are they?
That's what I like about Kitch.
Yeah, it's the only one. I mean, even Thomas is in, but
you shake hands after the game, don't you? You shake hands after the game. You go to war.
Yeah. We're in the game.
Yeah.
Roy Keane, going to war.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I do think it was a bit of an overreaction from the fan base. With all due respect to our fan base yesterday, it was a bit of an overreaction. We're still unbeaten. You know, Hadji Wright scored 5 goals in 5 games, which is a massive positive as well. Torp scoring regularly. I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I mean that with full respect. So I think, into the international break, we come back against Norwich at home, hopefully a near sellout. We don't have a great record, but I don't see why we can't go and beat them, especially with the transfer deadline. They bring 2 or 3 more in. You know, sky's the limit, I think. So
I think, Tom, as well, the fact that people are getting the hump because they're judging it out from these fixtures. So in regards to Oxford,
we should be winning.
You can't do that. It's the first 4 games.
It's the championship. Yeah. I remember a few seasons ago when this was like seasons ago now. We played Fulham. We're beaten 4-1, and they were top of the league. We never should have won that game. I bet their fans are overreacting, saying the same thing. I know we had an easy run in, but you're not going to win every game. That's the championship.
Yeah, I'd rather play the top teams in the first 4 games because no one's hit their stride. Yeah. It's a bit of a 50-50 flip a coin. You could win, you could lose.
Yeah, Sheffield United. I mean, they're bottom of the league at the moment.
Exactly.
Ipswich haven't won a game. Saints, I think, won 1 game. So
Saints. They beat Wrexham.
We could be in a much worse position. Put it that way.
We could play 4, 1-2 at home, 1-2 away. Midfield wise, exactly. From attack position or perspective, we have 15 shots yesterday, 6 on target, 7 off target, and 5 corners. Like we've said about the first half, we were brilliant. You know, what were your thoughts first half, Jay, overall? About the 3 midfielders, Rodoni, Grimes and Torpy?
Absolutely dominate that game, that first half. I thought they're absolutely brilliant. When they get a Torp as well, the man come on leaps and bounds. Again, obviously, Rodoni's had that sort of push with Lampard last season. I think Torp's just gone up another level. What I like about Torp as well, last season he was. I thought he was a bit reluctant to this. He's getting to his physical challenges now. He's putting his foot in and winning a lot of balls back. Grimes, for a small man, he wins a hell of a lot of balls back for us, which is fantastic, especially that first half as well. And Rodoni just got magical little toes, dancing around players and stuff. I thought they were absolutely phenomenal in that first half. Second half, I don't want to sound bad, but Oxford obviously went a bit more direct, let's say, which is not a bad thing. And they were bypassing the midfield. So it really annoyed me because I thought it's quite obvious they were making the pitch big. They were going over the top, going out wide and stuff. But our players were still quite expanded, where we should have compacted a little bit and sort of held the fort a little bit for 5-10 minutes just to sort of kill the game off and sort of get momentum back and stuff. But we just played into their hands and went sort of really sort of expansive. Again, talking about sort of changes and stuff as well. I think maybe even sort of bringing on Kessler, Hayden or Brow for the wingers just to give a bit more support. Because I thought Jade Silva at times was not getting a lot of help from EMC. And BT again a bit more on that side, but I just thought I think Oxford were very clever and they bypassed our midfield, and then we just lost complete control of the game. But first half, that is honestly absolutely brilliant to watch that game. It was a few obviously smaller little errors and stuff, but overall that was top notch.
Yeah. A message from a mate of mine. Oh, sorry,
go on.
Oh, thank you. I've got a message from a mate of mine who's actually a Sunderland fan. I know, Sunderland. And he was at the game yesterday because he had that Oxford mate who he went with to the game. And he said that Rodoni, it's like, if you keep on to him, which I'm confident we will now, he was like, he's an exceptional player. Absolute Rolls Royce of a player. And I was like, I know, he does it on a weekly basis and we all know it. So the fact we kept Milan and Rudy is a massive positive. That's a massive positive.
Huge.
About your thoughts, Ben, on the middle 3?
They're really good. They were really, really good. I mean,
Weekly basis.
Now we know why Ben Sheaf didn't come on, don't we? Because he didn't get risked because they knew what was happening, didn't they? They knew he was
sounds like it.
going to, and Ben Sheaf, the other week he came on and went off after 5 minutes. So that'd be the move knackered, wouldn't it? So now that's why he hasn't come on yesterday. But the magical, aren't they? Them three, they're really good. But I just thought they got left on too long.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant point, Ben, actually. I was going to say, brilliant point. I never really thought about that until you just mentioned there about, so he lasted 7 minutes last time and we were risking £6.5 million. I think the game would have been perfect for Sheaf to come on, take 12 off and sort of just close the game off. But Ben, as always, you come out with some words of wisdom, as always. So,
I thought he might have even brought Alan on yesterday just to sort of sit next to Grimesby or something and just try and break everything up. But, I mean, I thought Grimesby was knackered at one stage, but I'm not sure how far from the end it was. He beat Milan to a ball and tackled somebody on the right-hand side of the pitch. And I was sitting there thinking, my God, what's going on here? But I just summed it up. It's like, we've just run a marathon at half marathon pace. You've got to run 26 miles. You run it, you've run it like a lunatic at 13. And I thought they were just running out of gas from about 55, 60 minutes onwards.
Yeah, and I think that's credit to Oxford because they really, really expanded that pitch. They would again. What's their striker called?
Lancashire.
I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. He was making fantastic runs behind, stretching our defence, and then they would come back. Our wingers weren't really helping out. So then, and they would bypassing midfield. Even Rodoni was still going high. Hadji was still quite high. Our wingers were quite high. And then I thought we sort of played into the hands a little bit. Game management obviously spoke, but I think Frank should have change it a little bit, even tactically on the pitch, do the old goalkeeper injury kind of thing, and change it tactically on the pitch just to make it compact. Everyone just sit in 5-10 minutes, just kill the game off. Don't let them have shots from 25 yards away and within crosses. But we're sort of there on the edge of our sort of 18-yard box and stuff. But that's the only critique I've got of Lampard. I think that sort of costs a little bit. But
I think
another positive.
Go on.
Sorry, who's going next? Sorry. Another positive is we've got players coming back as well. Because obviously Eccles is back now. He plays in the 21s. Sakamoto's back. We'll say Sheaf is back, but now he's going. So the fact that we're getting players back is positive. Still waiting for Lati Bodia, which hopefully will be soon. I'm not really sure what's going on with Lati. Is there any update on him? Like nothing. No. It's a weird one. But we'll have him coming back eventually. But the fact we've got players coming back, this is why an international break's not always a bad thing. We may be playing well and winning games. Well, not yesterday, but the fact that we got players coming back and we've got a transfer deadline day as well. I think it's going to be a really busy day tomorrow, outgoings and incomings, because there's rumours about Kai Andrews going out on loan somewhere as well, which is good for him. Obviously, Bassett as well. Was seen at, is it Reims? It's a French team. He was at the game yesterday, so that's a good move for him, and he wasn't going to get any game time. So it's going to be a very, very busy day tomorrow. I'm quite excited for it, to be honest, but I can see 2 or 3. I can see 2 or 3 coming in. Fingers crossed. I'm not in the know. I'm acting like I know anything. But, no.
So when we move on to Norwich, when's that? A week on Saturday, 13th of September, I think. I was just looking at their scores. Played 4, won 2, lost 2. The 2 they've lost are at home. Both 2-1 to Millwall and Borough. They've won away at Portsmouth 2-1. They've won away at Blackburn yesterday 2-0. And Josh Sargent has scored 5 goals in 4 games in the league for them so far. So how would you set up against Norwich, Tom?
Well, I don't know, because if Sargent is a player that really, really scares me. I mean, it all kind of depends what we do. I mean, I wouldn't want to change it. I don't know. Like, let's say we do get Wolfenden, but do we bring him straight in? I don't think so against Norwich. I think we just stick with what we got at the moment. But the problem is, it's set pieces for me. And it's like we really need to work on over the break. But we've said that last season and again this season, and it's something that is not seeming to change. So I would go pretty similar. Obviously, Milan to Silva, I would say Kitchen and Thomas, but at this rate, maybe Thomas might get dropped for Wolfenden because Kitch is a good captain for me. But the only player that really scares me for Norwich is Josh Sargent because he always seems to score, especially against us as well. But I'd keep it more like less the same, to be honest.
Okay. About you, Ben?
Depends who comes in for me, but any game at home, we need to be looking to get 3 points. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter who it is. I feel like we're a match for anyone in this league now, and hopefully, if we have a few more bodies in, we'll have a bit more fluidity to be able to bring people off with some stronger players off the bench. Because there's no way Matty Grimes thought he was signing up for this at 30 years old, running 20k a game because he looked tired, didn't he? He was tired.
Is that how far he ran, or is that an estimation?
I can tell you now. But I was exaggerating. Let's have a look.
That's a long way, isn't it? 90 minutes. 20k.
No, it doesn't say. He wanted done 20k. I was exaggerating, but his heat map is just Matt Grimes. It's just everywhere.
Yeah,
I thought he was top notch yesterday. Even the second half, I thought he was. It was almost like he was in the midfield by himself at times. So he's I thought Torp sort of dissipated a little bit, and Madoni was too far forward. But yeah, he put in a good shift in. He earned his wages that week.
I'd say he could be our most, with Rudy, I'd say he could probably be our most consistent player at the moment.
100%.
Thing is, he goes so under the radar because he does it every week. Sometimes you just don't mention it because you're so used to it, you forget to mention it. But I think I said this last week on the pod as well. Week in, week out, he's just one of the unbelievable signing by Lampard. Really, I think it was Lampard's first signing as well. And what a good signing that's really, really good player.
Yeah. About you, Jay?
Love
You'd have to keep it sort of relatively the same. Again, if a centre back comes in, they've got a week and a half. Week, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks pretty much, haven't they?
Yeah.
To sort of settle in and stuff. So maybe a centre back comes in. Again, as Tom said, I'll probably go Thomas out and put the new centre back in. Again, I really like Bobby, but again, we just need a little bit more in that centre defence sort of role. Wingers, maybe Tats comes back in. I thought he looked really lively when he came on, but BTA has done really, really well as well. I really like the way that he's igniting the sort of the press and sort of coming in a little bit, and sort of Milan can really have that right side to himself, but it's great to have that sort of options as well. Only change obviously in centre midfield, obviously put Gus Hamer in there now. We're going to sign him for $3 million, I believe. I wish.
Is it a rumour, or is it just fans getting their hopes up?
Fans are just getting their
hopes up. It's just hope, isn't it? They're getting me excited. It's not going to happen.
I know, yeah. I've heard Leeds or PSV or someone. So, yeah, a team slightly ahead of us. But, yeah, again, it really depends on who comes in. But, again, whoever does come in, I'm always a firm believer of you have to earn your place. So you have to come in and when you get those 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you've got to wow when you go off the bench, or wow whilst you're in training or something, or that's also for the 11 that's starting. You have to make sure if a Wolfen does come in and Thomas and Kitch are there, they have to both raise their games because he can play on either side.
Yeah.
So you know if you mess up, unfortunately, mate, there's someone there behind you. Again, if a centre midfield player comes in, again, a big fan of Ben Warrington and Ben Sheaf as well, but a big fan of Sheaf. But you know he's not going to be having a regular sort of start. So a new player that comes in, they would be expecting to play. So then Torp has to perform all the time. Grimes obviously always does perform all the time, but he has to perform all the time as well. So I just think you need that healthy competition within teams. At the moment, we've got a fantastic sort of 11, 12, 13 maybe, and the rest sort of just squad players that will just come in as and when. Where what we need is probably a good 15 players that want to get that starting 11. That's really going to push us and take us further. Again, the whole thing like Haji Wright up top, absolutely fantastic at the moment. I think this season he's been what we need up front. He's pushing defenders off. He's taking people on, dribbling. He's creating a lot of stuff. But then he hasn't really got anyone behind him to sort of push him. So is that going to last for the whole season? Obviously, got the little carrot of the World Cup at the end of the next season. But I just think Sim just isn't giving that little push. So hopefully he can carry that for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Be interested to see how we go on against them, really, because I don't know how they've scored their 5 goals, but I guess if Sargent's, I think he scored 1 penalty out of the 5, so I'm assuming the rest are in play. So we seem to be doing all right defending against the.
It feels like Sargent can score from just about anywhere.
Yeah, but we seem to be defending that. It's the set pieces that we're struggling with. So who knows?
Has he got a good record against us, though, Tom? Because I can hardly remember him scoring against us.
I remember him scoring a few. I don't think he scored against us last season. He's definitely scored a few because I always remember being like, I hate Josh Sargent, and not hate him as a person. As a player, I think he's phenomenal. He's a player that I'd love at top, but
because I thought Borja Sainz was one of the players that got at us.
Yeah, he's a very good player as well. He moved on, hasn't he? He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, that's a good thing. But no, I think he scored a few off the top of my head against us because I just remember being like, of course, it's him again. But he's a player that I always fear because I just know how good he is. I mean, every time I see a Norwich score, I look at my phone and go, Sargent again.
Will he be there next week? Maybe not.
Two
Good
things.
point. I mean, I just heard any rumours on that.
Well, he nearly
Sorry.
left to go to Germany not so long ago, but he stuck around. Second thing, he has got a very similar injury record to Ben Sheaf over the last 3 seasons as well. So he's going to the US international break, so he'll be away. Never know, may pick up a niggle. Obviously, Haji Wright is, I think, absolutely fantastic that he's not going, just so he can fully recover and stuff. Hopefully, he doesn't get called up, but you never know. Josh Sargent may not be there may get picked up by somebody. A fantastic start to the season, so it's going to open up a lot of eyes. And you never know, he might pick up a nickel as well. Hopefully not. Don't want that wish upon anyone, but he does not have the best injury records as well. So yeah, that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
When was the last time we actually beat Norwich? Because we didn't beat them at all last season because we bottled it away. I was at that game, and I remember we were 1-0 up like the whole game, and then two last-minute goals was. I think I saw you at that game, Scott, didn't you?
Yeah. We were
I remember that. At home, I think we
drew 0-0. We lost away
0-0.
2-1.
Never beat them. I just can't remember the last time we actually beat Norwich.
We drew 1-1 at home not last season, the season before, I think. So we seem to draw at lose away.
Well, Frank's record against them, he's never lost. So
exactly.
There you go.
Positive. Got to think positive. Got to stay positive.
I'm not a massive fan of
2009.
Prediction then.
No.
Ben, what do you reckon? Norwich at home?
2-0 win.
For Cov.
Hopefully.
Jay?
3-1.
Ooh. Tom?
I watched a highlight. They're quite expansive from what I saw. I don't know if they're always like that, but
I think it'll suit us, Jay, better.
Yeah.
I think it'll suit us rather than the
You know
Oxford
what?
sort of team.
I'm going to stay on the positive train. I'm going to go 2-1 Cov. A close 2-1, a cagey close 2-1.
I was going to say 2-1 as well, Cov. I think we play better against the more footballing sides. So we'll see how that goes. I was going to talk about
say one thing. I think that Derby had the perfect blueprint to beat us last season, and they tried to play football against us this season and just got walloped.
Yeah, I think both the games against Derby last season, I thought at home we were awful, and we were 2 or 3 times as awful away at their place. I don't think we got in the game at their place last season when they beat us 2-0. Awful everywhere.
The first game got Robin sacked, didn't it? That was the last
game.
Yeah,
the home game, yeah.
Rudy's back pass. Yeah. And the second game was when we were on that fantastic run, wasn't it? We were on that great run, and that was
and then there's a bit of a reality check, wasn't it?
Yeah, we was all counting the points already. We already had the 3 points.
Yeah.
Awful. Oh, that was awful.
So in terms of transfers, then I was looking at this and written a few names down. I think, as you mentioned, Norman going on loan to Reims. It sounds like I think Brad's gone back to Burton Albion, or to Burton Albion, I should say, on loan. And it sounds like she's going for 6.5 mil, which sounds like quite a good fee to me. And I think the people that have been rumoured about coming in, the Hughes that we've spoken about, Wolfenden, and Sam Raksaki. Yeah, so I think they're the 3 names that I've read on various social media things about coming in. So, I know we've spoken about Wolfenden. It sounds like there seems to be a bit of a 50-50 split on whether people want Hughes or Wolfie, but I don't know too much about Raksaki. I think he's a midfielder. Is he a young lad, 19, 20 years of age at Chelsea? Anybody know anything about
19?
him?
I don't know anything about him, really.
I've just watched YouTube highlights, a bit bored today, so I watched YouTube highlights. He looks like he's a bit of a deep-flying midfielder, breaks up a lot of play, and he's quite good at sort of getting the ball forward with sort of good, amazing little runs and stuff. So, look, again, this is all under 21s football, by the way. He played a couple of times for Chelsea in the European Cup, but he looks like he's a bit like a Grimes, but with a bit of pace and a bit of sort of a bit dynamism. I can't say the word dynamism. That's the one. Thank you, Scott. He looks like he's that sort of player rather than sort of spraying the ball around and stuff. But looks like a prospect, but obviously he's only playing 21s football, so you can't really take too much. He looks like a world beater in the 21, so you can't really sort of take.
Frank will know all about him as well. Frank will know all about him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It just made me wonder about Sheaf going to Wrexham potentially, and then Kai Andrews being rumoured about going on loan. We've spoken about the 3 boys in midfield. That leaves Alan and Eccles as cover.
Yeah,
and then maybe the kid that's coming in.
Yeah, maybe Frank. Yeah, maybe Frank will get his boots on.
Do you think there's a signing coming that we won't know about as well? I just have a feeling that one.
Jamie Vardy.
Are you he joined somebody today, I think. Are you suggesting
Yeah, he did,
Hamer,
yeah.
Ben?
No, I'm
Ooh.
not suggesting Heyman.
No,
I
that's
just feel like
knows.
I feel like there's a surprise coming in.
Yeah,
Not that
I'm
I
the
don't know
same.
anything, but I just have a feeling that they've got something lined up and they're getting money in to do deals.
I'll tell you what then, Ben. Ben can say, hey, Matt, I'm going for Hughes and Wolfenden to come in. That's my left-sided shock in this, especially now seeing Sheaf go for 6.5. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, nice surprise would be Hughes and Wolfenden coming in. That's what. I know nothing at all. That's my guess.
Not in the know.
I can't see it, Scott. I can't see it.
I can't see Hughes happening. I really can't see Hughes.
I think we need a winger. I think the winger will be coming. Frank keeps talking about wingers. He keeps saying, "Oh, did this, that, winger." He said it 3 times now.
You look. He tried to sign Rabbi Matondo in January as well. He wants that left winger / number 10.
Yeah.
That type of player. There was that William Bovine. He was looking at. Bertucci. Yeah, he's going to Germany. Bertucci. So he's looking for that sort of attacker left wing 10 kind of role. Again, if Andrews does go out, is there an argument to say we're going to get two centre midfield players in? Again, like a Raksaki, who will be maybe coming on loan. I think his contract runs out next season as well, 2026. I saw. Maybe I don't think they've got an extension on that. And yeah, maybe a surprise. But after the stadium stuff, no one knew about it. Not even Frank until the day before. God knows what Doug's got up his sleeve. So hopefully he's got something magical up there. Again, I would love the fact that both Hughes and Wolfenden came in, but again, how much money has Doug got? That's the thing. Again, I was looking at, we raised 3 mil from Bink, 6.5 from Sheaf, probably about 3.5 from Vic as well. So about £13 million there. Yeah. Plus all this money that we brought in. A lot of the money we spent is from the Gus and Vic sales, really. So you
say before, Jay, that we've only spent 1 million.
Yeah, net. Well, that's including obviously the Binks deal. £1 million net spent, and realistically, a club in our position should be spending probably like 10 mil. I would say
10, 15,
10-15 mil realistic. Plus, then on top of that, 3 mil from Binks. Yeah, you're probably looking from Vic and Sheaf, probably another 10 mil there. So let's say we've got 10 mil budget, another 10 mil from sales, £20 million to spend.
But he must have 10 million there now because he's just bid it. So maybe he needed that extra 6 just to get some over the line. That's what I'm hoping and thinking.
Yeah, and even he withdrew £15 million at the club a couple of months ago. Don't know what else. Again, he said the stadium was from external money. So I don't know if that's got something to do. Again, obviously, I'm sure the stadium costs more than 15 mil, but maybe that money's set aside for transfers as well. So maybe the plan all along was to spend 25 mil, but then he's also got these sales coming through as well. So maybe we've got 30 mil. We don't know. We'll find out tomorrow, but it's a lot of money spent on one day. It's a crazy amount of money. It's exciting, but also super frustrating. They've left it to the last day. We've signed a goalkeeper because obviously our goalkeeper was in. If Devin wasn't injured, we wouldn't have signed Rushworth, let's face it. Obviously, Kessa Hayden, I presume they thought Milan was going because that's a top right back to get. And Brow, obviously,
free.
He looks good. So 3 positions they've really sorted out, but we always needed a centre back. We always need that left wing /10/striker that Frank's been looking for. It looks like that we have been looking for a centre mid. Looking for a centre mid as well.
Right. He's just going to chill with us.
Probably talk more sense than you, Tom, I'm sure as well. But
he definitely does.
But when you look at the KKH and the Rushworth deal, even both they said that they were talk for weeks. So hopefully there's a lot of plates spinning and stuff.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting day tomorrow. But you're not going to leave your phones, are you, tomorrow?
No, they're never exciting for us, are they, either? But so tomorrow will be a good change.
I think you're right.
What happened to that MLS lad, though? That Pereira? What happened to that one?
Died. That one died quickly. Yeah,
ages ago.
I'm with Ben. I think there's going to be a surprise that no one's even mentioned yet coming out. But I hope it is the 2. But who knows?
That day, when no one expected.
Let's find out.
Remember, it was about only an hour before we found out about Had You Right when he came. I think we've got one of them.
The bushes. Some of the bushes taking the photo, weren't they? Yeah. Well, let's find out, lads. Let's see what happens.
Get your drone over Brighton later tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't do anything about it either.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you all. I think we're almost at 50 minutes, so you can have the rest of your Sunday evening back, chaps. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you.
Play up Sky Blues.
See you guys.
Sky Blues. Thank you for watching.